Men of Reddit, what's the hardest thing to explain to women? When you ask me how my day was, or what I did today, nothing in my day usually stands out as special, so I just don't remember. I usually don't remember what I do, I just live. I'm seriously not checking you out every time you walk by in the office. I turn my head for damn near everything that enters my periphery. You're really not that special. The concept of post-nut clarity and the related power your boner has over you. Men, am I alone in knowing that you don't/shouldn't text any woman if you're horny/jerking off? When we say we need time or space, that's exactly what we need. It's not code for you need to try harder. We appreciate women making the first move. Making the first move feels like stepping on eggshells. Sometimes I'm just horny, but in a committed relationship, sometimes I look at you and I'm just so in love that I want to be as close and intimate with you as I can, which is sex. My ex and I had different love languages, and she would worry that I don't love her as much as she loves me, which was just crazy because I was head over heels for her at all times. Trying to explain that really close love sex was one of the ways I showed her exactly how deeply I was in love with her, but she didn't get it. That sometimes we need personal space, and it has nothing to do with our opinion of you. Definitely. When I first moved in with this girl, she wasn't working and I was. So, every day I would be up at 6 AM to go to work, and then back late on an evening to find her brother, her friends, all sitting around the living room and all wanting to talk to me. Like, sod off. I just got in from work. Can I have 5 minutes alone to just reset myself? Alone time is great and everyone should have at least 30 minutes of it daily. I don't always want to be the one that initiates sex. It makes me feel like a creep. It doesn't necessarily make me feel like a creep, but it makes me think the girl doesn't actually want sex most of the time. When a girl does ask for sex, or initiates it in her own way, it makes it so much more fun for me, and takes out a lot of the anxiety and stress that sometimes surrounds sex in a relationship, because it really does feel like a two-sided, give and receive situation. I've tried so hard to explain this to my GF and previous girlfriends before. It's really hard to vocalize. They think I'm not interested, since I don't want to initiate all the time, and that's really not the case. Not even that, but maybe I want to feel wanted and sexy for once. Sometimes an erection just happens. We don't control the thing. It's a physical response that could literally be from nothing. I accidentally walked into a door the other day and I got rock hard. When we say we don't care, we really don't care. Yes, we can have an opinion on something, but when we say we don't care, that means our opinion isn't strong enough to sway us either way on something. I'll learn to say I don't have a preference. That always seems to come across better. When I say I don't have a preference, my girlfriend tends to take it as me saying I don't like either option, and she'll scrap the plans entirely. I actually mean both options sound fine or even good, but I truly don't have a preference between them. Why, I don't know what the fuck my best friend is up to in life, even after hanging out with him all day. Why my husband bothers telling me information about our friends is the world's greatest mystery. Cor is moving apparently. Oh, where to? IDK, but like, moving out of the city? Did he get a job somewhere? When's he leaving? IDK, he just said he's moving. This is oddly specific to my situation. My name is Corey and I'm moving soon. Lol. How much compliments mean to us? It's a different type of happy when a guy gets complimented. That I'm simply not clairvoyant. You need to tell me what it is you really want. If you're disappointed in something, say so. I can take it, as long as it's not #1. Sometimes, this is me personally, so I can't say it's common. The struggle not to share emotions isn't as much the worry of backlash from society or friends, etc. It's more just a conflict within ourselves to verbalize and come out with it. I trust my friends with respecting how I feel. I just can't get it out, because I'm fighting myself. Be at an angle, or the vaunted split stream, usually post erection. That the reason I shake the gas pump the amount of time I do after I finish pumping gas is the same reason I shake my toto after I pee. I really want to see if we'll get along well enough to date, but I'm horrible at maintaining a conversation without being too safe or too out there. That just because I'm quiet in your presence doesn't mean I'm upset. Just means I'm either tired, don't have anything to say, or I'm thinking about something. As much as we're seen as sex-crazed pigs, we talk so little about women when we get together for drinks or something like that, and when we do the topic doesn't last long. Literally can't even remember when was the last time me and my best bud talked about women. We're both single too. Just usually talking about our old friends from school and what they're doing, cars, our jobs, sport, or politics occasionally. Sometimes we could use a hug, or at least a high five. My ex would say horrible things when fighting, then wonder why I was not in the mood to fuck her for a few days afterwards. Seriously, I have learned to hate teachers that would teach the sticks and stones rhyme, because the truth is stick and stones can break bones and harsh words will fucking destroy your self-esteem for years, requiring mental counseling, and even then you might never heal. The stick and stones thing works when a 7-year-old calls you a poopy head fart. Fart poop face not. When your spouse says the day I regret most is the day I met you, also you're fat. That just because I'm a guy doesn't mean I don't care. I've had women talk to me about guys losing their hair. He's a guy, so he doesn't care. I know a lot of guys who hate being bald, or the fact that they are balding and their hair is thinning and hairline is receding. This idea that we don't care or don't care about our looks because we are a guy is ridiculous. I have to constantly explain to my wife why my 2-year-old son is obsessed with his penis. I have to explain why he always wants to touch it and grab it when his diaper is off. She will never understand why our baby and his father share this habit. That men can sit for hours talking and talk about nothing. My wife and I lost a dog in our 2nd year of marriage. He was sick for a month and she was crying softly about it on a daily basis. I was extremely sad, but never cried. Then when they took him away at the vet's office, I cried loudly and uncontrollably for what felt like an hour, probably realistically like 45 seconds though, and just couldn't calm myself down. In the car she said, you know, if you didn't bottle it up and let it out a little at a time you wouldn't get like that. What she didn't understand at that moment is that for a lot of men, we don't have that middle ground of crying. It's either nothing or everything. A lot of us never learned how to cry in a semi-controlled manner because we never saw a man do that when we were young. I'm 40 years old and I've never seen my father cry. Not at any of our weddings, not at his parents' funerals, nothing. In other words, I've never had that subconscious model of how a man is supposed to cry, and don't have any practice at it. When I try to make myself cry, I can't, whereas my wife can watch any commercial with sick animals, cry quietly for 5 seconds, and then be done with it. A lot of us aren't great at picking up hints. An itch on my toto is way worse than an itch anywhere else. An itching toto on a children's playground is one of life's worst pranks. That we don't know every detail about everyone else in my life. When I mention I hung out with someone, my mom will ask me what their wife does for a living and can't understand that it didn't come up in conversation. The fact that we can ride in a car with another man for 5 hours and not say a word drives my wife crazy. When you say, does this outfit look okay? And we say yes, you look stunning, and you reply, well, you would say that. Half my brain thinks please believe me because you do look stunning, and the other half thinks WTF did you ask me for if you aren't going to believe me? I was at home when my wife and her friends got home one day from the pub. They were all giving me funny looks and smirking. I asked what was going on. They at first refused to tell me. After a little while of prodding, one of them goes, I heard all about your dick. And they all broke into laughter. I was a little taken by surprise, but laughed and said something like, oh yay, hopefully all good. And they laughed, and that was the end of it. After they left, I was like, what the hell did you tell them? And my wife responded by saying how she told her friends about our vigorous romps on our honeymoon in Mexico, apparently in great detail. We were there for a week and probably had sex about 3 times a day. We were both pretty sore when we got home. We had an all-inclusive, so we ended up getting day drunk and got pretty physical with each other as you do on a honeymoon. She was like, whatever, you probably tell your friends all about us when it's just the boys. I don't know about you guys, but the extent of what I ever say is usually a raised eyebrow and something like, AWWE. I have never once described my wife's body to a single one of my friends. Nothing in detail about any of my sexual partners from before my wife, and it blew her mind. Apparently girls talk in great detail about it, guys usually don't, and they assume we do, and we assume they don't. Subscribe for more good content. Thanks for watching, we appreciate your time.